Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you dig the way that any topics or information is being broken down or discussed here on the channel. Got to get into some bite down boxing content. Don't let them count you out. Uh, First of all, huge salute to the Georgia investigative or investigation unit or whatever their name is. It's like my mom told me the Georgia's version of the FBI coming through in the clutch last night, trying to bring a moment of civility, of common sense to this whole situation down there with the young brother who was murdered, who was killed by Gregory and Travis McMichael, and I'm talking about Ahmaud Arbery. I wonder, a couple of moments ago, if anybody did the whole run with Ahmaud because I guess this is his birthday. Unspeakable way to have a 26th birthday, to go out the way that. Well, actually, I mean that was back in February was when this happened. So it's not like it happened that he was killed this week. But you know what went on? Black guy out jogging in Brunswick, Georgia, in a neighborhood in Brunswick, Georgia, and was ran down on by two white guys, a father and a son. But anyway, I don't want to be brutal and moving on from that. But I wanted to talk about some boxing. I listened to the Sports Illustrated podcast, boxing podcast, SI Boxing, and SI senior writer Gregory Bishop was on there discussing with Chris Mannix about his interview with Triple G, where Gennadiy Golovkin mentioned that under no circumstances does he intend to fight Canelo Alvarez in his next fight. His preference is, and what he will do, is move forward with the Serzameda defense of his IBF title, I believe. And I know the way things unfolded. I just did a podcast with Lukey Cattell of Inside the Ropes Boxing, kind of doing a deep dive on Triple G. I am not the biggest Triple G fan, but I just don't understand why he's drawn the ire of so many of late, discussing, challenging the legitimacy, really just him as a fighter. I don't even know if it's questioning his resume, so to speak, but just discrediting the dude as a fighter. I mean, he's a pretty damn good middleweight, in my opinion. But like I said, he's no longer on my pound for pound. But the guy is 38 years old, and I really don't see much. I really wouldn't see a lot of reason for the guy to receive much backlash with coming out and not wanting to fight Canelo Alvarez in his next fight. And I don't know if this whole pandemic, COVID-19, is really if it's a plus or negative in his case right now. Actually, we would. Well, I think he was trying to fight in June, maybe, to get that fight out the way, to clear the way for the trilogy in September, possibly. And now this pushes everything back. But with that said, he's like, well, no, I'm not gonna go and throw this Serzameda fight out and move right forward with Canelo. That wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. And I'm with him, man. Like I said, I know he hasn't ingratiated himself with fans from all walks for various reasons. But a lot of these guys, he's not gonna please them in anything he does. So he might as well go on and give himself the best opportunity, or the opportunity to close out his career the best way. And I will admit, at this moment in time, coming out of the Derevianchenko fight, where I thought Derevianchenko pulled that out. I don't know who, I can't remember what trainer it was at this, off the top of my head, but I'm of the opinion that Canelo might stop Triple G. I mean, if he's looking bad and looking sluggish and not taking Derevianchenko's punches like we've seen him, his beard stand up in the past, it's a good possibility that 7 to 8, 9 rounds in, he could start he could be susceptible to being stopped and potentially closing out his career on a stoppage. But anyway, this is kind of like LeBron going to the Lakers versus, you didn't see LeBron try to go to you didn't see him challenge himself and go try, let me go to Portland and join CJ and Dame, and we're going to make a run. I'm going to make a run for it there. Nah, he kind of looked at, not that Dame would have wanted that help, if you let Dame tell it. But he goes to LA where the status of the Lakers and the Laker brand was going to allow him to have this final run that COVID-19 just balled up and threw somewhere. But yeah, Triple G is sitting here trying to find a way. Him and his team, I would imagine, have sat here and tried to devise a way to close out his career. And with this in mind, whatever the outcome is against Canelo, that's probably how, if he was able to win that would be how he would be remembered. And if he's destroyed or brutalized, that's probably going to be what the final word is on his career. So you might as well make it against the best man possible, the most lucrative fight that you can get, and go from there, and let the chips fall where they may. But to sit here now and come out of this situation and just jump into a fight with Canelo, I think that would be very foolish. And it would probably play into the hands of Canelo and his team. Don't make it that easy. Don't make it that easy. The loser here might be DAZN, because now this is further drawn out. What's the likelihood of this 38-year-old fighter finishing, the 6 fights that he signed for? They got like $100 million invested in this whole thing or committed towards it. Who knows how the contract plays out, and some of that gets voided, or they're off the hook for it and whatnot. But I don't think there's many big nights left for Triple G. Probably not the type of big night that would be required to best Canelo at this point. But you do the most to at least you make the right decisions to at least make it to that opportunity, and then like I said, see where the chips fall. But again, like I said, man, some of the criticism on Triple G, and I mentioned this on Lukey's podcast, it was ugly that he wasn't willing to step forward and accept the challenge of going up and fighting Andre Ward, and even some of these Eastern European light heavyweights have risen to the top in that division. He hasn't shown any interest in going up there and challenging any of those guys. So it's just like he's just there, at middleweight. Now he does have this title coming out of the fight with Derevianchenko, which, like I said, many believe he didn't win that fight. But I'll close it out with this, as I'm just watching, closing out season 3 of rewatching The Wire. Like Slim Charles, or the tall man, told the boss and Avon, "Hey man, if you told a lie, then we go to war on that lie. And if his whole career or his run has been a lie, then you finish it off on that lie, going against Canelo Alvarez." So I said a whole lot to say that, you know, trying to talk some boxing. I meant to say shout out to my Do the Right Thing poster back there in reference to that Georgia investigative unit or whatever it's called department on the whole Ahmaud Arbery situation. So that's it, man. Let me get on out of here. Enjoy your weekend. I mean, I don't know when this is gonna change. I never thought, when things changed around March 13th, who expected we'd be here, months later. So anyway, my name is Wood, like I just mentioned. Bite down boxing, don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.